Welcome to this explainer on asbestos safety. Now, if you're a tradesperson working in any building that went up before the year 2000, listen up. This isn't just some other safety briefing, it's pretty much a critical guide to protecting your health for the long haul. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with a single number that really puts everything into perspective. Over 5,000. That's how many people die every single year, right here in Great Britain, from diseases caused by asbestos. It's a shocking figure.
And just to be absolutely clear, that number makes asbestos exposure the single greatest cause of work-related deaths in the country. This isn't some problem from a bygone era. It's a clear and present danger for anyone on the tools today: plumbers, electricians, joiners, you name it. So what makes this stuff so unbelievably dangerous? Well, it's how sneaky it is. You just can't see it. You can't smell it. You can't feel the fibers. You could breathe them in today, but the devastating diseases, they might not show up for 15, 20, heck, even 60 years. And by then, it's just too late. That's why being aware isn't just some box-ticking thing. It's your only real defense. So, to give you a clear roadmap, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look closer at this invisible killer. Then, we'll get into the duty to manage, who's legally on the hook. After that, we'll cover your role in worker safety. We'll clear up the difference between licensed and non-licensed work. And finally, we'll arm you with your safety toolkit. Practical stuff you can use on any job.
All right, Section 1, the invisible killer. We've seen the stats, but let's really dig into the nature of this risk, the risk that you just can't see coming.
Okay, so if the risk is invisible, who's got the legal responsibility to find it and manage it? That brings us right to our second section, the duty to manage.
The law is actually super specific about this. The Control of Asbestos Regulations from 2012 created a key role to answer that exact question. And that role is called the duty holder. As it says here, this is the person or the company legally responsible for managing asbestos in any non-domestic building. So think building owners or maintenance managers. Their job is to protect you before you even walk through the door. And their responsibility isn't vague. It's a really clear three-step process. First, they have to assess, find the asbestos. Second, record, document exactly where it is and what condition it's in. That's called an asbestos register. And third, manage. Create a plan to keep everyone safe. Now, the really crucial part for you is that this plan must be shared with anyone whose work might disturb it. And that means you. So, the duty holder has a plan. Great. But what happens when you're actually on the ground, ready to work? This brings us to Section 3, workers' safety. This is where it becomes a team effort between your employer and you. Yeah, think of it like a partnership. It's a two-way street. Your employer has to do their part, right? They plan the job, they give you the right training, and they provide the correct PPE. But the other side of that coin is your duty. You've got to cooperate, use the gear properly, stick to the plan, and, this is a big one, report any issues the second you see them. Okay, this is one of the most critical moments you could face on any job. Picture this. You're working away, you pull something back, and you uncover a material that wasn't on the plan, and it just doesn't look right. What do? What's the protocol? And the answer, straight from the health and safety executive, is as simple as it is vital. It's right there, in big letters. You stop work. Not think about stopping, not finish this little bit I'm on. You stop, right then and there. So here's your playbook, laid out nice and clear. Step 1, stop immediately. Step 2, inform your employer or the building owner. And Step 3, wait. Do not touch a thing until that material is identified and a safe plan is put in place. Following these 3 steps is what prevents a simple discovery from turning into a life-threatening exposure for you and everyone else on that site. Now this brings us to a really important distinction, and it's our 4th section. See, not all asbestos work is created equal. The rules, the training, and who's even allowed to do the work, it all depends on the level of risk. And this table here breaks it down perfectly. On one hand, you've got non-licensed work. These are lower-risk tasks, like drilling into asbestos cement, that you can do with the right training and precautions. But on the other hand, you have licensable work. This is the high-risk stuff, like removing insulation or lagging, and it must only be done by a specialist contractor who has a license from the HSE. No exceptions. Okay, we're on to our final section. We've talked about the risks, we've talked about the rules, so now let's get practical. This is your safety toolkit, the resources that are actually designed to help you do the job safely every single time. And the best part is, you're not expected to memorize all of this or just guess how to do these lower risk jobs. The Health and Safety Executive provides free, super detailed, step-by-step guides for tons of common tasks.
Now, what's really cool about this slide is just how specific these guides get. They're called Asbestos Essentials, and they give you the exact method, what gear you need, what PPE to wear, how to clean up, for dozens of jobs, from removing a single floor tile to drilling a hole in insulating board. They've really thought of everything.
Another massive tool in your kit is just your own two eyes. Keep a lookout for this official label. If you see this A symbol, you are looking at a confirmed asbestos-containing material. That's your immediate signal to stop, check the plan of work, and double-check you've got all the right safety measures in place before you even think about proceeding.
Finally, let's look at 4 absolute non-negotiable rules. 1. Never ever use power tools without proper dust extraction, because they can release millions of fibers in seconds. 2. Never dry sweep dust, it just kicks it right up into the air. Always use a special H-type vacuum or wet rags. 3. Never reuse disposable PPE. It's contaminated, period. And 4. Never eat, drink, or smoke in a work area. These aren't suggestions, they're your lifeline.
And that brings us to our final thought. The threat from asbestos is silent, it's invisible. Knowing all the rules is one thing, but actually applying them on every task, every single day, that's what truly protects you and your future. So please, stay safe out there.